Okay, welcome everyone. Today we are diving deep into, well, a pretty unlikely second act. A spectacular failure, really.
Yeah, it's quite the story.
Picture this. If you've got a starting quarterback, right, playing in an NFL playoff game, and somehow he manages to become the absolute poster child for, like, professional sports collapse.
Total flame out.
Totally. And then he just vanishes. Poof.
Hmm.
Only to resurface playing professional American football, get this, basically for pizza after the game.
In Italy, of all places.
In the heart of Italy. It's wild.
And it's really not a comeback story in the usual sense, you know? Not about athletic redemption.
No, not
It's
on.
more about a complete cultural reset. A personal one, too. Our sources today, they really track this bizarre journey of Rick Dockery from, like, the absolute peak of American failure.
Can we call it that? Peak failure?
I think so. To this, well, this bizarre, really low-stakes league where the currency isn't millions of dollars, it's passion, it's reputation.
And a whole lot of culture shock.
A profound amount, yeah.
So our mission today, what we want to do is distill the honestly shocking facts about just how completely Rick Dockery's career got terminated, like lights out.
Yeah, just done.
Then we want to contrast the cold, hard financial realities of the NFL with the warmth, the passionate chaos, maybe, of Italian football.
That's a good way to put it. Passionate chaos.
And ultimately, we want to try and understand the complete overhaul, the change in character that Dockery goes through when he lands in Parma.
It's quite a transformation.
Okay, so let's start right where it all kind of imploded for Dockery, waking up in a hospital bed.
Yeah, and it's not just about losing a game. This is like a physical catastrophe and a career one right after the AFC title game. He's playing for the Cleveland Browns.
And that opening scene in the source material, it's just brutal. He wakes up, head pain, neck pain, intense, lower back throbbing, elbow, just agony.
All from this one hit, this devastating, unseen, weak-side blitz, player named Purcell.
A sandwich tackle, they called it.
Exactly. Like being hit by a cement truck, apparently. And it confirms his third severe traumatic head injury, a bad concussion.
His third one, that's significant.
Hugely significant. Because that third concussion, it sort of underlines the danger he already knew was there.
Right.
The fear.
Yeah.
And honestly, the physical recovery, that almost takes a backseat to the professional damage. His agent, Arnie, he shows up
Arnie.
and delivers the news. Dockery's been released by the Browns. Cut.
And Arnie treats it almost like it's Tuesday,
Yeah.
an expected annual thing.
Yeah, an annual ritual, the source calls it, which tells you a lot.
It really does, because Dockery had bounced around like crazy. 8 teams in 6 years.
Something like that. Only Toronto, the Argonauts, and the CFL kept him for a second season.
So the NFL was just this constant churn for him. Trial and error, moving van, always ready.
Totally. Shows you how transactional the league is, right? No sentimentality.
Zero. But let's dig into why. Because it wasn't a lack of talent, was it?
No, absolutely not. And Arnie, his agent, makes this crystal clear. Rick had a phenomenal arm.
Yeah.
Like genuinely elite.
How good are we talking?
He could throw a football 80 yards.
Yeah.
80. And they clocked his fastball at 90 miles per hour in tryouts.
Whoa. Okay, so he had the cannon, the physical tools of a top QB.
Absolutely. All the tools in the box.
So if the talent's there, why the constant moving? Why couldn't he stick anywhere? Why the failure?
It boils down to something psychological and tactical, I guess. You know, when you're a quarterback, pockets collapsing, there's this massive, roaring defensive lineman charging at you, unblock.
Nightmare scenario.
Total nightmare. You have like less than a second. You have to make a decision. Option A, grit your teeth, sacrifice the body, stand tall, throw the ball, complete the play for the team.
War.
Option B, you flinch. You tuck the ball, you run for your life, protect yourself.
And Dockery.
Option B, every single time. According to Arnie, anyway.
He prioritized survival.
Exactly. Survival over the team's success. He'd always flinch, run frantically, usually towards a sideline, maybe, subconsciously trying to avoid exactly that concussion he just got.
Which, okay, on a human level, you get it. But in the NFL.
Career killer. Absolute career killer. The league demands that quarterbacks stand in there, take the hit, make the throw, sacrifice for the play's integrity.
And that flinching, that set the stage for the final epic collapse. The one that got him crowned the greatest GOAT.
Ugh, yeah. The media reaction was just swift and savage. And it was really embodied by this one guy, Charlie Cray.
A sports writer for the Cleveland Post, notorious.
Totally notorious. Cray's column was just excoriating brutal.
Yeah.
He argued Dockery deserved to top the all-time list of sports chokes. The all-time list.
That's saying something. I mean, who else is on that list? He mentioned Bill Buckner, right? The Red Sox error in the World Series.
Yep, Buckner. Jackie Smith, the tight end who dropped that pass in the Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
Right. Huge moments.
Huge moments. But Cray's argument was, look, those were single plays. Isolated moments of failure. Dockery. He managed 3 horrific game-losing plays.
3.
3. In just 11 minutes of one single game.
11 minutes. Wow.
This wasn't just a choke. It was like a catastrophic meltdown, a cascade of failures.
Yeah, let's relive those 11 minutes. It's painful, but necessary. Browns are cruising, right? Up 17-0 in the AFC Championship. Defense is playing lights out.
Historically good defense.
Yeah.
Then the top 2 QBs get injured. In comes Dockery.
Catastrophe number 1.
He tries to throw a simple pass in the flat, short route, easy stuff. And he somehow throws it directly to the Broncos defender, Sweeney.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Pick 6, interception return for a touchdown. Just like that, the lead shrinks, 17-7. Crowd groans.
Okay, bad start. Catastrophe number 2.
Things get tense, punts, a fumble maybe. Then Dockery tries a hook route, throws it high, again. Easily picked off.
Another interception.
Another interception, returned deep into Browns territory. Broncos score again quickly. Now it's 17-14.
Oh, my God. The whole game has just flipped because of him.
Entirely on his performance. The stadium is stunned. But wait, there's more. He saves the absolute worst for last.
Of course he does.
Less than a minute left. Chance to be the hero, right? Drive for the win. He checks off the primary route, sees his receiver Bryce wide open downfield.
Okay, here's the redemption arc.
You'd think. He fires an absolute laser.
Oh, wow.
A missile.
Yeah.
Technically, the direction is perfect. Right at Bryce.
What?
But he throws it way too hard. Just bullets it.
He's trying to throw it through him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It hits Bryce square in the chest and bounces straight up in the air. Like a pop fly.
You cannot be serious.
Deadly serious. And guess what? 3rd interception. Game over. Broncos win 21-17.
Unbelievable. 3 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns in 11 minutes.
And the crowd reaction. Total chaos. Half booing him into oblivion. Half actually cheering the sheer magnitude of the failure. It was that bad.
Wow.
And the final image. Dockery getting carted off the field with that concussion, only for 2 drunk fans to rush the stretcher. Yeah. Sparked this huge brawl right there on the field. Players, security, fans, mayhem.
So that whole sequence, it just confirmed everything the league already thought. Right, great arm.
0 mental toughness, 0 ability to handle pressure.
The failure was so public, so spectacular. He was done, untouchable in the NFL.
Completely toxic. He's getting death threats, needed security at the hospital, hundreds of them. His career wasn't just over. It was like nuked from orbit.
But here's the twist. Arnie, the agent, he realizes this total absolute termination, this utter failure, that's exactly what might make him marketable.
To someone truly desperate.
Someone running a team in a completely different universe.
Right. So the fallout is immediate. Arnie hits the phones, starts calling, maybe half the teams in the NFL, just trying to find anything. Practice squad, 3rd string, anything.
And how did that go? What were the teams saying?
Oh, it was brutal. Doors slammed shut. The Rams, the owner's nephew, apparently answered the phone, heard Dockery's name, and just said the answer is hell no. Click. The Cardinals were maybe a bit more polite, but basically told Arnie, don't ever call us about him again.
Wow.
The sources make it really clear. Rick himself had no idea just how permanently his NFL career was just gone, obliterated by those 11 minutes.
He was living in denial, maybe.
Totally. Or just shock.
Yeah.
Then, the lifeline. Arnie's at an airport bar, probably drowning his sorrows, avoiding ESPN.
Naturally.
And he gets a call, out of the blue, from a guy named Sam Russo.
Sam Russo. Who's he?
An American guy, actually. Played ball at Bucknell, apparently. Now he's coaching this team in Italy. The Parma Panthers.
Parma Panthers, okay. And why is Russo calling Arnie?
Russo is desperate. His American quarterback just quit on him. Took a coaching job back in the States, upstate New York somewhere. Left him high and dry right before the season.
Ah. So Russo needs an American arm. Any American arm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Dockery, well, he's technically available. And he has, the arm, even if it comes with baggage.
A lot of baggage.
A ton. But Russo has to manage expectations immediately. Right away on the phone call.
How so? What's the reality of this Italian league? The Series A?
Yeah, Russo basically lays it out. He calls it a club sport. Emphasizes that this is amateur level. Played for love, not money.
Okay, club sport. What does that mean in terms of talent level compared to, say, U.S. college football?
Russo's comparison is pretty specific. He says maybe a notch above Division III in the U.S. He even mentions Washington and Lee specifically.
Division three. Wow. Okay. For listeners who might not know, D3 is, well, it's a far cry from the NFL or even big-time college ball like the Big Ten.
Oh, absolutely, worlds apart. D3 is typically, smaller schools, very little athletic scholarship money, limited recruiting, shorter practice hours.
Players are there because they love it, but they're also focused on academics, future careers.
Exactly. You compare that to the NFL, where every single player is a full-time, highly paid specialist, million-dollar training facility, coaches for everything.
Yeah. The Italian league doesn't have that.
Not even remotely. It's bare bones, passion-fueled.
And the money, or lack thereof, really drives that home, especially for Dockery.
Right. So the league rules, they allow 3 American players per team, kind of like hired guns almost.
Okay.
And Dockery's offer, it's 3,000 euros a month for 5 months. That's the season length.
3,000 euros a month. What's that, like roughly $4,000 in US dollars?
Something like that, yeah. Plus, they throw in an apartment and a car. A tiny car, but still.
Okay, $4,000 a month. I mean, it's not nothing, but for a guy who was playing in the AFC Championship game, who was probably expecting, what, a $50,000 playoff share alone?
Exactly. It's pocket change. Compared to NFL contracts, signing bonuses, it's basically minimum wage for a pro athlete.
And that salary, even that relatively small amount, makes him a huge financial outlier compared to his teammates.
Oh, completely. This is the core truth of the Parma Panthers, the rest of the roster. These are, as the source says, tough Italians who play because they love football. That's it.
They don't get paid.
Nope. Maybe. Maybe they get pizza and beer after the game, if they win. And if the team owner, Signor Brancardo, is feeling generous that day.
Pizza and beer, that's the bonus structure.
Pretty much. And these guys, they have real jobs. Serious day jobs.
Like what?
We're talking an airline pilot, a dentist, stonemasons, a guy who owns a cheese shop, a property agent. Highly skilled professions.
Wow, so football isn't their life, like in the NFL?
Not at all. In the NFL, football is life. It's everything. In Parma, football is this incredibly passionate, demanding hobby that these guys somehow fit in around their actual careers and families.
They're playing for pride, for bragging rights against Milan or Bergamo, not for a multi-million-dollar contract.
Exactly. It's a totally different motivation.
So Rick Dockery, the guy who flinched under NFL pressure despite his huge potential, he lands in Parma, and the culture shock must have been immediate.
Oh, instantaneous. And pretty funny, actually. He arrives mid-March, flying in from Florida where he'd been hiding out.
Okay, so he's tanned, probably relaxed.
And dressed for it, like he's heading to a country club. Linen sports coat, tropical shirt, no socks, fancy loafers.
Yeah.
Maroon crocodile loafers, the source mentioned.
Crocodile loafers. In Parma, in March.
Yep. And he's hauling this enormous amount of luggage, including, hilariously, his golf clubs.
No, golf clubs.
Golf clubs. He steps off the plane into Parma, which is cold and lightly snowing.
Oh, the visual. The poor guy.
His first impression is just a total disconnect from reality. He's not prepared.
And Coach Russo has to break some bad news right away, doesn't he?
Yep. First order of business. Sorry, Rick, no golf courses anywhere near here.
Probably should have Googled that.
You'd think. And he's struggling with the basics, too. Asking Russo how many quarts are in a liter. Trying to figure out the metric system.
Yeah.
Just completely lost.
It's humbling, I bet.
Totally. Russo tries to give him some context, Explains Parma is this city, maybe 150,000 people, famous for food, Parmigiano, prosciutto, and for opera.
Right. Not exactly a football hotbed.
Definitely not American football. The local soccer team, Parma, they draw like 30,000 fans, long-suffering fans, apparently. But American football, super niche, a novelty.
Russo points out some history, too, right? Trying to ground him.
Yeah, trying to broaden his horizons beyond, the playbook. Points out that Palazzo della Palata, this historic building bombed by the Allies in World War II. Points out the Teatro Regio, the famous opera house.
Like Rick's reaction.
Basically. So where's my apartment? And confirms he hates opera.
Oh, Rick.
Yeah, that initial snapshot. It shows a guy who's physically moved across the world to escape, but mentally. He hasn't arrived yet. He's still that self-absorbed NFL backup, just displaced.
All right, so the real immersion, the deep dive into Parma life, it starts with the team itself, the Panthers, and his new home field, the Stadio Lanfranchi. It's not quite what he's used to.
Not even close. First off, it's primarily a rugby pitch. They lease it. home to 2 professional rugby teams.
A rugby pitch, so the dimensions are different.
Yep. Key detail. The playing surface is only 90 yards long, not the standard 100, goal line to goal line. Although, weirdly, the goalposts are 110 yards apart.
90 yards. That messes with your head as a QB, I bet.
For sure. And the goalposts themselves. They're wrapped in Heineken logos. Totally screams passionate amateurism. Yeah, making do with what you've got.
And the atmosphere. Compared to, say, 70,000 screaming fans in Cleveland.
A little different. Seating capacity is maybe 3,000. Admission is free. And they rarely sell out. It's intimate. Very, very intimate.
Free admission, wow.
And the practice schedule. That also reflects the reality of these guys' lives.
Right, the day jobs. They can't practice at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Exactly. So practices are late, Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. after a full day of work.
Yep. These guys finish their shifts, flying planes, pulling teeth, laying bricks, selling cheese. Then they come out of the cold pitch and smash into each other for 3 hours. For pride and pizza.
That's dedication. Insane dedication.
It really is. And this is where Rick, Mr. Real Pro Quarterback, gets his first kind of harsh reality check about Italian intensity, the warm-ups.
Ah, yes. Led by Alex Oliveto, the psycho-conditioning coach.
That's the nickname, yeah. Alex is apparently a master motivator, but his drills are just brutal. Pure conditioning, designed apparently to push players until someone throws up.
Seriously, that's the goal.
Seems like it's at least an accepted outcome. And Rick, he's used to specialized NFL conditioning. Agility drills, explosive movements, position-specific stuff.
Not just running till you puke.
Nope. 15 minutes into Alex's pure endurance hell, Rick is doubled over, heaving, gasping for air.
The Italians are watching him, right? Testing him.
Oh, absolutely. They want to see, is this American pro going to pull rank, complain, demand special treatment, or is he going to suck it up?
Does he try to get out of it?
He tries. He tries to kind of jog off, suggesting maybe he should warm up his arm instead. Nope. Alex isn't having it. Rick gets dragged back into the running.
So he has to embrace the suck, basically.
He has to. He realizes, okay, the star quarterback here earns respect the same way everyone else does, by suffering, maybe even by vomiting on the sideline next to the dentist.
Humbling. Okay, let's talk about the team structure, the key players he connects with. There are 2 co-captains who really embody this whole dual life thing. First, Nino, the center.
Nino, yeah, he's literally the center of the offense, snapping the ball to Rick. But he's also the owner of a local trattoria, little family restaurant.
And he's the translator, too. That sounds complicated.
Delightfully chaotic is how the source makes it sound. Think about it. Rick calls the play in English in the huddle. Nino then translates a quick version into Italian for the rest of the guys.
A quick version. What gets lost in translation?
Who knows? Sometimes apparently the players don't quite get it or there isn't time, so they just kind of go with their first impulse based on the formation.
Okay, so it's less precision offense, more organized chaos, improvisation.
Exactly. It's football by feel sometimes. And Rick notices something interesting about Nino during their first practice snap.
Yeah.
This tough restaurant owner.
Yeah.
He flinches. Just like Rick did. When the defensive lineman makes contact, Rick sees Nino's gluteus maximus tighten up. That same instinct for self-preservation.
Wow. That's a connection right there. The NFL flincher sees it in the Italian amateur.
Yeah, a subtle moment. Humanizes everyone. Even these tough guys playing for pride, they still feel that impact. It's a nice, ironic touch.
And the other co-captain, the guy who's basically the law.
Oh, Franco Lazzarino, what a character. He's the fullback.
Yeah.
Powerful runner, co-captain, very respected.
And by day.
By day, he's Judge Franco Lazzarino, a giudice in the Italian judicial system.
A judge, a sitting judge is playing fullback.
Yep, presiding over cases during the week, running into 300-pound linemen on the weekend.
That's incredible.
And get this. He is a fanatical Franco Harris superfan. The old Steelers running back.
The Immaculate Reception guy.
That's the one. Judge Franco wears number 32, just like Harris. And his judicial office is apparently a shrine.
Yeah.
Posters, memorabilia, everything Steelers and Franco Harris.
That's amazing. So you have the center restaurant owner, translator, and the fullback Judge Steelers fanatic.
It's these guys. Their dedication, their passion, their completely normal, yet extraordinary lives outside of football. That's what starts to crack Rick's NFL-only worldview. He's seeing a different way to live, a different reason to play.
And speaking of culture, nothing accelerates that acceptance like food, right? Especially in Parma.
Oh, absolutely. Nino, the center, immediately takes Rick under his wing, culinarily speaking. They go from the violence of the practice field to the beauty of Nino's trattoria.
And Rick gets an education. First lesson, Trattoria versus ristorante.
Crucial distinction, Nino explains. Trattoria, that's your unassuming family-owned place. Simple, delicious, local food. Ristorante is more formal, more elegant, probably more expensive.
Good to know. And then comes the food lecture at Cafe Montana.
Lecture's the right word. Nino treats this platter of cold cuts, the antipasto, like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. With reverence. He starts schooling Rick.
Okay, break it down. What's on the menu?
First, Parmigiano Reggiano, the real stuff. Nino calls it the king of cheese, aged up to 2 years. Explains how it can only be made in this specific region from cows eating specific grass.
Right.
The whole terroir thing.
All right, the details matter.
Immensely. Then, the cured meats, prosciutto di Parma, cured for 18 months. Comes from pigs fed barley, oats, and get this, the leftover way from making the Parmigiano cheese.
Wow, that's like a perfect circle. Sustainable charcuterie.
Totally. Nothing wasted. Then Nino moves on to Felino salami, another local specialty.
Okay.
But the real star, the thing Nino gets almost spiritual about, is the culatello.
Culatello. I've heard of it. It's supposed to be amazing.
According to Nino, it's the pinnacle. He explains it's made only from the best part of the pig's leg, the heart of the muscle. And then it's stuffed into a pig's bladder.
Wait, a pig's bladder?
Yeah, sounds weird, right? That's the traditional way. And it's cured for 14 painstaking months.
14 months.
And not just any pigs. Specific small black pigs that are fed acorns and chestnuts. That specific diet gives the meat its unique flavor.
The level of detail, the specific feed, the bladder.
It's intense.
It forces Rick to just stop, to slow down, to actually taste and appreciate the culture, not just observe it. He tries the prosciutto with the Parmigiano on some bread, closes his eyes, he's blown away. The source says the food is astounding, and the culture shock. It's fading fast in this flood of food and wine. The anger, the bitterness about the NFL, it's getting washed away by, well, pork products.
Food heals all wounds, or at least distracts from them.
Something like that. But just as he's settling in, the law catches up with him. Or rather, the judge does.
Ah, the famous non-arrest. This part is great.
It's classic. Rick's back at his apartment after a big dinner, probably had a bit too much wine. Early morning, bang, bang, bang on the door.
Who is it?
It's Detective Romo and 2 uniformed cops, guys named Skek and Dinny, big dudes.
Oh man, Rick must be freaking out.
Yeah.
Thinking, what did I do? Is this about the death threats? International incident?
Totally panicked. Romo's very serious, keeps insisting this is not an arrest, but then adds ominously, but the judge is waiting for you. The judge is waiting. That sounds bad.
It's terrible. They hustle Rick, still half asleep and probably hungover, down to the police station, then into the courthouse. He's terrified.
And they take him to the judge's chambers.
And he sees the bronze plaque on the door. Giuseppe Lazzarino, Giudice.
It's Franco, his fullback?
Bingo. Judge Franco Lazzarino sitting there behind his big desk, beaming. He's thrilled. Pumps Rick's hand. Welcome to Parma. Shows off the Franco Harris shrine.
The shrine? In his judge's office?
The whole thing. Then he proudly plays the Panthers highlight reel on his computer, which is mostly just slow-motion footage of Franco carrying the ball.
So the entire non-arrest was just Franco wanting to meet his new American quarterback, a prank.
Basically, a very elaborate, slightly intimidating welcome wagon organized by the team's co-captain and resident judge.
That's incredible, and it tells Rick something important, right, about how things work here.
Absolutely. It confirms that Parma and the Panthers operate on this system of, like, passionate chaos and personal loyalty. Rules are flexible. Connections matter. Like Judge Franco is way more important than formal procedures.
And Rick is going to need that loyalty, like, immediately, because he messes up with a car.
Oh, the Fiat fiasco.
Yeah.
Yes. So Rick gets a car as part of his deal, right?
Yeah.
But it's Italy. It's a stick shift, manual transmission.
Which most Americans can't really drive anymore.
Exactly. Rick definitely can't. So he wakes up super early one morning, determined to practice driving this little Fiat Punto that actually belongs to the team owner, Signor Buncardo.
Okay, trying to be responsible, learn the skill.
Good intentions, bad execution. He's nervous, jerky with a clutch, stalls it, grinds the gears, and in a moment of panic,
Oh no!
he crashes it, bangs into a parked lime green smart car, then maybe bumps a white Citroen too. It's a mess.
Minor fender bender, Italian style.
And then the police show up.
Of course. And guess who it is? Askey and Dini. The 2 big cops from the non-arrest.
The judge's guys. The very same. And they look mad, like they're ready to administer some curbside justice. They start yelling at Rick in Italian.
And Rick's probably terrified again. No license on him, no registration for the owner's car.
He's got nothing. He's panicking.
Yeah.
Then he remembers. He digs in his pocket and pulls out the only official-looking thing he has.
Franco's business card.
Judge Franco Lazzarino's card. He shoves it at the cops.
And it works.
Like a magic wand.
Oh.
Or diplomatic immunity. The cops see the name, their demeanor changes completely. They make a call. Franco gets on the phone and apparently just rips into, "What are you doing hassling my quarterback in the owner's car?"
Wow. Judge pulls rank.
Big time. The cops basically apologize and disappear. Rick gets a total free pass. No ticket, no report, nothing.
That's a powerful lesson. Stick with the Panthers, stick with Franco, and you're protected. You're part of the family, chaotic as it is.
Exactly. It's a kind of protection and belonging he definitely never felt in the cutthroat, disposable world of the NFL.
Okay, so Rick's starting to get the hang of Parma. He survived the food lectures, the psycho-conditioning coach, the non-arrest, the Fiat crash. He's got the judge on his side. Now it's time to actually play football.
Finally, game time. First game is against the Naples Bandits.
Yeah.
And Coach Sam Russo, knowing his team's limitations and probably Rick's ruskiness, keeps things super simple.
How simple?
Like ridiculously simple. They script the first chunk of the game with only 12 plays. That's it. 6 runs, 6 passes.
12 plays total.
Yep. And all 6 passes are designed to go to one guy, Fabrizio, the talented young Italian receiver. They figure Naples has a weak secondary, so just force feed Fabrizio.
Smart. Keep it contained. Minimize Rick's chances to, revert to form.
Exactly. And it works.
Yeah.
Beautifully. Rick actually throws a touchdown pass, his first one in like 4 years of bouncing around leagues.
Wow. That must have felt good. Little redemption.
Huge confidence boost, you can imagine.
Yeah.
It feels good. And later in the game, he does something totally unexpected for the guy who always flinched.
Well,
He scrambles, takes off running, and keeps running. Breaks tackles, outruns guys, goes 72 yards for a rushing touchdown.
72 yards. For Rick Dockery, the guy who ran for the sideline.
Longest run of his entire career, NFL included. He gets into the end zone, flips the ball to the ref, and just laughs. Like genuine joy, having fun playing football again.
That's awesome. And they win the game.
They win 28-14. Good start to the season. Undefeated Parma Panthers.
But that old NFL ego dies hard, doesn't it? What does Rick do after the game?
Yeah. He immediately emails Arnie, his agent back in the States. And the email is, well, a slight exaggeration.
How so?
He writes something like, undefeated here in Parma, first game, 5 TDs, 4 by air, 1 by ground. A real stud.
5 TDs. They won 28-14. He accounted for 2 touchdowns, the pass and the run.
Precisely. Old habits. He's still trying to spin it, still trying to prove to the old world, to Arnie, that he's dominating, that the failure didn't stick. Needs that validation.
Even in Parma, playing for pizza. Interesting. But his personal life is definitely getting richer, moving beyond just football scores. He goes to the opera.
Yeah, remember he told Russo he hated opera? Well, he goes anyway. To the Teatro Regio.
And this is where he meets Gabriella Bellini.
Exactly. She's the soprano. Beautiful, talented, sing the lead role Desdemona in Verdi's Otello.
Sounds glamorous.
Except she's getting booed, like intensely booed by the audience.
Well, booed? An opera singer, why?
Because the Parmesans are apparently fanatics about opera, like hardcore critics in the stands. The source says they don't tolerate mediocrity at all. They'll boo a single missed note. Ruthless.
Wow. Tough crowd.
And Gabriella, she's struggling. Apparently her voice, while still amazing, has maybe just passed its absolute peak, and she knows it. And this incredibly critical hometown audience knows it. It's creating this immense frustration for her.
Okay, wait. Public performance, intense scrutiny, the feeling of maybe not quite being at your best anymore, being judged harshly by fanatics. Does this sound familiar?
Bingo. Rick Dockery, the greatest GOAT, instantly connects with her situation. He understands that feeling of public humiliation, of falling short under pressure in front of a demanding crowd.
He sees a kindred spirit. How do they actually meet?
He finds her late one night outside the theater.
Hmm.
She's just had this huge, very public shouting match with her boyfriend, this guy, Carletto. She's upset. They start talking.
And she helps him with something practical too, right?
Yeah. Hilariously, she's the one who finally teaches him how to parallel park the stick-shift Fiat. Maybe it takes an opera singer's touch.
Ha! Perfect. So they bond over parking and public failure.
Pretty much. A connection based on shared vulnerability. They plan a date for her next performance. Things are looking up for Rick, personally. He's finding real human connection, far away from just the team.
But the season's not all smooth sailing. There's a big setback coming, and this time it's kind of Rick's fault.
Yeah, this one's on him and the other Americans on the team. There's Slidell Turner, goes by Sly, he's their star running back, and Trey Colby, the free safety.
The 3 Americans. What do they do?
The team has a strict rule. No drinking for 48 hours before a game. Pretty standard stuff.
Right.
Well, they've got a game against their rivals, the Milan Rhinos. And the weekend before, the three Americans decide to, let's just say, fully embrace the Milan nightlife, forgetting the 48-hour rule entirely.
Uh-oh. So they show up to play the Rhinos hungover.
Massively hungover. And they play like it. It's an abysmal performance. They get crushed by Milan. And Coach Sam Russo, the American guy who brought Rick over, he is furious.
I bet. He probably feels betrayed.
Totally. He benches Rick during the game, calls his performance disgusting, reads him the riot act for being unprofessional, letting the team down.
Ouch. That's got to sting, especially from Russo.
Yeah. And the consequences, they spiral fast. On a bus ride home from Milan, Sly, the running back from Colorado State, he just quits.
Quits the team just like that?
Yep. Tells Russo he's going home. Clearly, he was only there for the fun, the easy ride, the pocket money, the shame of that loss, maybe Russo yelling at them. It broke whatever commitment he had. He just bails.
Wow. So they lose their star running back. That's a huge blow.
Massive. And then it gets worse. Injury crisis time. Trey Colby, the safety, the other remaining American skill player.
What happens to him?
Breaks his leg badly.
Yeah.
Compound fracture of the fibula. Snaps right there on the field in the next game or practice. Out for the season. Probably career over in Italy.
Oh my God. So just like that, the Panthers are down to one American import, Rick. All their hired skill is gone.
Gone. Poof. It's a disaster for the team's chances. And it forces a real moment of truth for Rick. He can't rely on the other Americans anymore. He can't coast.
He has to step up, become a leader.
Exactly. And he does. He realizes they desperately need Fabrizio, that talented Italian receiver, to be their go-to guy now more than ever.
Yeah.
But Fabrizio's just playing for pride and pizza.
Right. So Rick demands they actually sign him, pay him.
Yeah. Rick goes to bat for him, tells Russo, tells the owner, Signor Brancardo, tells Franco the judge, we have to pay Fabrizio. We need him. Treat him like a pro.
And Fabrizio knows he has leverage now, right?
Oh, yeah. He plays hardball, says he wants an agent, wants real money, asks for 2,000 euros a month.
$2,000 for an Italian player, that's probably unheard of.
Pretty much. But who steps in to negotiate? Judge Franco, of course.
The fullback judge negotiator, of course.
Franco works his magic. Talks Fabrizio down, but gets him a deal. 1,000 euros a month, plus incentives based on catches and touchdowns.
Okay, so Fabrizio gets paid, becomes a focal point of the offense.
Yep. And Rick. He's taken on this new role. He's not just the hired gun anymore. He's advocating for his Italian teammate, investing in the team's success beyond his own stats. He's committing.
That's real growth. He's finally becoming part of the Parma fabric, but just when he finds that loyalty, the outside world barges back in, violently.
Charlie Cray. He just won't let it go.
The Cleveland sports writer. What now?
He somehow tracks Rick down to Italy, finds out about the Parma Panthers, and publishes another column.
Oh no, what does this one say?
It's just pure poison. Condescending, dismissive. He calls the Italian league football Americano, mockingly. Says the players are all white, slow, small.
Ouch. That's insulting.
Totally insulting. Cray basically writes that these guys only play American football because they're not good enough for soccer or rugby. Just dismisses their passion, their effort, everything.
In this kind of commentary, a few months ago, Rick might have secretly agreed with some of it, right? That internal monologue about it being high school stuff.
Exactly. That's the irony. But now, hearing Cray say it, it infuriates him. Because it's not just an attack on him anymore.
It's an attack on his team, his friends.
Yeah. It's an insult to Nino, the center who taught him about Culatello. It's an insult to Franco, the judge who saved him from the cops. It's an insult to Fabrizio, the kid playing his heart out for 1,000 euros.
It's personal now.
Deeply personal. And Rick's reaction, it's not despair, it's anger. Pure protective rage. He tells someone, maybe Arnie, maybe just thinks it, that if Charlie Cray ever shows his face in Parma, he's going to break his neck. And he adds, significantly, and I know a judge here.
Using the Franco connection.
It shows the transformation, right? He's not running from the GOAT label anymore. He's not internalizing the criticism. He's standing up, ready to fight, to defend his new chosen family. The stakes have completely shifted from professional validation to personal loyalty.
Okay, so Rick is fully invested in Parma. He's found loyalty, respect, maybe even love with Gabriella. He's ready to defend his team's honor. But then, the old world comes calling with a serious temptation.
The final test, you could say. Arnie, the agent, calls. And it's not about some D-list NFL tryout. This is real.
What's the offer?
Remember Rat Mullins? Rick's old coach from somewhere in his checkered past?
Vaguely. Another character from the NFL merry-go-round.
Well, Mullins is back coaching, but in the Canadian Football League, the CFL, with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Okay, the CFL, that's a legitimate professional league. Real stadiums, real fans.
Real money. That's the key. Mullins wants Rick, needs a quarterback, and the offer is serious.
How serious? We talking more than pizza and beer.
Significantly more. Arnie says the salary range is $80,000 to $100,000 U.S. Actory. Guaranteed.
80 to 100 grand, compared to maybe 15 grand total he's making in Parma.
Exactly. Plus, he'd be the guaranteed starter. They'd build the offense around his arm, full passing attack. Real cheerleaders. Real pressure, maybe, but real rewards.
That's a massive offer. A genuine second chance at a proper football career.
He is. Arnie pushes hard. Tells Rick the offer's up to $100,000 now. Says it's now or never. This is probably his last shot at playing real Pro Bowl for real money.
So Rick has this huge choice. The logic, the money, the career, it all points to Canada, right? Go be a pro again.
Absolutely. The rational choice is Saskatchewan. It's stable, it's lucrative, it validates him as an athlete. He has to take it, logically.
Yeah.
But there's Parma. There's the commitment he just made, mentally. There's Franco, Nino, Fabrizio. There's Gabriella. There's this weird, chaotic, passionate life he's accidentally fallen into and started to maybe love.
It's career versus life, logic versus loyalty, head versus heart.
Perfectly put. That's the tension. And before he can really wrestle with that decision, he realizes there's some unfinished business he needs to take care of. One last goes to exercise.
Charlie Cray.
Charlie Cray. Rick needs closure. He needs to physically confront the man who basically branded him a failure for life. So he does something kind of crazy.
Does he fly back to Cleveland?
Yep. Gets on a plane from Rome to Toronto, maybe pretending he's going to check out Saskatchewan. Then immediately hops another flight down to Cleveland. Stealth mission.
Go. Well, what's the plan? Just yell at him.
Oh, it's a bit more direct than that.
Yeah.
He needs payback. He goes to the Cleveland Post building, walks in, cool as you like, puts on a Cleveland Indians baseball cap as a disguise.
Subtle.
Signs the visitor log as Roy Grady, apparently a name he heard of, a new pitcher for the Indians. Yeah. Gets directions to Cray's office.
This is actually happening.
Finds the office. Cray is inside.
Yeah.
Rick just shoves the door open, pushes Cray back inside, closes the door, and delivers one single perfect punch. A right cross, straight to the chin bone. Drops Cray like a sack of potatoes, knocks him out cold.
Wow, just one punch.
One punch. Calculated. Cathartic. Of physical release for months, years maybe, of psychological torment and public humiliation.
Didn't stick around to chat, I assume.
Nope. Job done. Walks out, flies back to Italy.
Okay, but surely there are consequences. Assault, lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. Arnie has to clean it up. Works out some kind of plea deal. Rick pays a fine, maybe does some community service from afar. But Cray, he's furious.
Yeah.
Threatens a massive civil lawsuit. Claims a broken jaw, probably egged on by all the Cleveland fans who still hate Rick.
So Rick's facing a potentially huge lawsuit back in the States. How does he react?
This is the best part. He's completely unfazed, tells Arnie, basically, so what? If he sues me and wins, I'll just declare bankruptcy in Italy.
He's going to file for bankruptcy in Italy to avoid a U.S. judgment. Can he even do that?
Who knows? But the attitude is what matters. He has completely shed his fear of the American system, the consequences, the media, the whole machine that chewed him up and spat him out. The ghost of the NFL failure. It's gone. Banished by a single punch and a newfound Italian perspective.
He's free, focused, ready for the final showdown in Italy.
Exactly. He returns just in time for the Italian Super Bowl. Parma Panthers versus their arch rivals, the Bergamo Lions.
The championship game. Stakes are high, even if it's just for bragging rights and glory.
Oh, the team is intensely motivated. Extra practices, team meals filled with strategy talk. Nino, the center, even promises to quit smoking until after the game. That's serious commitment in Italy.
Huh. Wow. Okay. And Bergamo. They're tough.
They're the villains of the piece. Led by this guy named Moschke, star linebacker. Known league-wide as an assassin. Plays dirty, tries to injure guys. He's the main threat.
So Rick and Coach Russo have a plan for Moschke.
They have a special play, designed specifically to neutralize him, physically and psychologically.
Yeah.
They call it Kill Moschke.
Kill Moschke. Seriously, that sounds slightly illegal.
It's borderline,
Yeah.
but technically legal.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, actually. Rick lines up in this shotgun formation. The idea is to make Moschke think it's a pass, get him blitzing hard up the middle.
Okay, baiting the trap.
Exactly. And hiding behind the left tackle, low to the ground, Judge Franco Lazzarino, the fullback.
Franco's in on it.
He's the key. As Maskey charges in, Franco comes out of nowhere and delivers this absolutely devastating block. Legal, but brutal. Knocks Maskey completely off his feet, rips his helmet off, leaves him stunned on the ground for a minute.
Whoa, the judge laying down the law, literally.
Delivers the sentence. And that one hit. It changes the whole game. Maskey is suddenly hesitant, maybe a little scared, plays less aggressively for the rest of the game. The Panthers seize the psychological edge. It's a masterstroke of legal violence, courtesy of the judge.
Incredible. And what about Rick's performance in the game? Is he still playing smart, safe?
No. That's the other amazing part of his transformation. The guy who flinched, he's gone. Rick plays this game like a man possessed, aggressively. He's not sliding, he's not running out of bounds, he's lowering his shoulder, seeking contact.
Seriously, he's looking for hits.
Becomes a headhunter, the source says. Launching himself at defenders after a run. Even Coach Russo is surprised. Rick has finally completely conquered the fear of getting hit that ruined his NFL career. He's playing with reckless abandon for his team.
That's the ultimate breakthrough for him. But playing like that,
Yeah.
it comes with risks, right?
Huge risks, especially for a guy with his concussion history. And it catches up to him. Climax of the game. Panthers are down by 6 points, 3 minutes left. Ball near midfield.
Okay, hero time again. Can you do it?
He rolls out, scrambles, buys time, plants his feet,
Yeah.
and just uncorks one. Throws the ball absolutely as far as he possibly can. A high, spiraling prayer towards the end zone. A Hail Mary.
The ultimate gamble.
Yeah. But just as he releases the ball, wham! Maskey, the linebacker he'd intimidated earlier, gets his revenge. Delivers a monster hit. Helmet right under Rick's chin. Looks like he nearly breaks his jaw.
Oh, God, he's down.
He's out cold. Instantly. But the ball is still hanging in the air, sailing towards a goal line.
And Fabrizio, the Italian receiver they paid.
Fabrizio is there. He skies. Makes this unbelievable acrobatic leap amongst a crowd of defenders, plucks the ball out of the air, lands in the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. They take the lead. It's chaos. The play becomes legendary. In Parma lore, they call it the catch.
They win the Super Bowl.
They win the Italian Super Bowl. 24-23. Pandemonium on the sideline.
Amazing. But Rick missed it. He's knocked out.
That's the great, tragic irony. The man who finally conquered his fear, made the throw, led his team to glory, is unconscious. This is concussion number 4. He wakes up later, dazed, in the locker room. Doesn't remember the winning play, doesn't remember the celebration, missed his own triumph.
Oh, wow. 4 concussions. That's really serious. That has to factor into his final decision, right? About Canada, about Parma next year.
It's the deciding factor. The owner, Signor Brancardo, is ecstatic after the win.
Yeah.
Comes to Rick with a new contract offer, a significant improvement.
Better than the first one.
Much better, 2,500 euros a month, but crucially, for 12 months. Not just the 5-month season. It's a proper annual salary, plus the apartment, plus the car. He wants Rick back for a repeat.
Okay, so that's a stable, decent living in a place he seems to like. And what about his personal life? Gabriella.
Well, there's a slight twist there. Gabriella's career might be taking her elsewhere. But Rick has connected with someone new. Livy, an American exchange student he met.
Liffy, okay.
Yeah, she's got her own complications, fleeing some messy family stuff back home. Her visa's about to expire. But Judge Franco is pulling strings, trying to get her a permesso di soggiorno, a permit to stay in Italy legally.
Franco, the fixer. Always helpful. So Rick has this offer for a stable life in Parma, a new relationship potentially, and the $100,000 offer from Canada is still lingering. What does he choose?
He sits down, thinks about it, thinks about those 4 concussions, thinks about the doctor's warnings after the last one. Quit football now before you do permanent damage.
So
he turns down Signor Brancardo, politely refuses the offer to play for the Panthers next season.
he turns down Parma.
He does, and by implication, he's turning down Canada too. He's choosing his health. He's choosing a non-football life. After everything, after finally conquering his fear on the field, he realizes the cost is too high. He walks away.
Wow. He chooses health over glory, over money, over the game itself.
Exactly, and it's nothing to do with football. He and Livy, assuming Franco works his magic with a visa, they're going to travel.
Travel where?
All of Italy, spend the summer through August anyway, see Sicily, Sardinia, Verona, just explore, be tourists, live.
Sounds nice. Peaceful.
And Rick's only stated demand for this trip, 2 cathedrals per day is the limit.
Huh. Setting boundaries early.
He's following Livy's lead, choosing stability, choosing history, art, maybe love, choosing life. Over the violent, high-stakes world of professional football he spent years desperately chasing and then desperately running from. It's a complete reversal. #tag outro.
So Rick Dockery's journey, it really wasn't a sports comeback in the end, was it? It was, like you said earlier, a cultural and personal transformation, just disguised as a football story.
Completely. He ends up trading that potential $100,000 salary in Canada, the chance to be a pro again. For what? A life of cheap hotels, ancient ruins, pasta, and maybe finding some peace in Italy with Livy.
He ran from the NFL, a league that valued his physical talent but ultimately rejected him for his psychological flaws, his fear.
Right, and he found this weird kind of redemption in Parma, in a league that demanded almost the opposite. It required him to sacrifice his ego, to embrace loyalty over stats, to play purely for the love of the game, for pride.
And for pizza and beer. Can't forget the pizza.
Never forget the pizza. And the most ironic thing, his greatest physical vulnerability, that deep-seated fear of getting hit, he only truly overcame it when the emotional stakes, his loyalty to Franco, Nino, Fabrizio, his Italian brothers, became higher than his fear of the physical pain.
That's fascinating. The connection had to be stronger than the fear. And the depth of his change is it's huge. He arrived as the NFL GOAT, the ultimate choker, the guy defined by failure.
And he achieved his greatest athletic successes, arguably that long run, the final touchdown drive, playing without fear only when the results, financially speaking, mattered the absolute least, when it was just about the game and the guys next to him.
It really makes you think. Okay, so here's a final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on.
Dockery was basically terminated by a league obsessed with peak performance, with maximizing talent, with salary caps and market value. Yet he found success, fulfillment, maybe even happiness in this little amateur league he initially dismissed as high school stuff.
So, in a world that's constantly pushing us towards bigger, better, richer, higher stakes, is the real victory sometimes choosing the lower stakes game? Is it walking away when the cost of winning the big one, whether that's physical health, mental peace, personal relationships, just becomes too damn high? Maybe the bravest move isn't standing in the pocket, but choosing not to play at all.